Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Hello.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so nice to see you on this wonderful, festive Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, Chardonnay Shabbat that we get to also spend together. And we have our 12th graders graduating. I can't believe it. It's so great. So excited to be with you on this Shabbat to celebrate all of that. You will hear a lot about each of our graduates specifically throughout our service. But we just wanted to say hello to you. Make sure you have a prayer book if you don't have one, and also say hello to those on our live stream. Hello to our live stream. Welcome. If this is your first visit or 100th visit, thrilled that you're here. And you can follow along with us. As a reminder, cbiboca.org to our website, and top left corner you press menu, and then service or services, and then scroll down a little bit. You'll see a nice picture of Cantor Muchnick. That's him right there. We'll talk about Jacob in a second. And then you'll scroll down. You'll see a picture of him, and there'll be a button next to it that mentions the virtual prayer book, and you can press that, and then you can pray along with us and chant along with us and sing along with us.
Did you just call me it?
You could press I think I was talking about the picture.
Oh, the picture.
The picture,
Okay.
not
Okay.
not you.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Maybe I was. Well, too late now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's gone. We could discuss it. Do you want to discuss it a little bit right now?
No.
All right, we'll just go with the service. We'll just go with the service.
Ethan has to leave soon.
That's a good idea. Great.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive right into our Shabbat service. To start with lighting of Shabbat candles, we're going to invite all of our graduates to join us right over here, and we are going to have as their fearless leader light our Shabbat candles officially. Now, we saw her a few weeks ago. She was Rachel Sherman. Now you're going to see Rachel Wolf, because she is married. Her husband is right there. You can't see him, but he's waving to empty space. But he's right there too. So we're going to continue on page 2, either in your Sidurim, your actual physical ones, or your virtual ones, page 2, as we light our Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Amen. You guys can sit down. Thank you very much. We're going to continue now with our Kiddush, now that the time around us of Shabbat has been sanctified, and we are officially in the presence of Shabbat, and we can let go of the previous week and move into the peace and the restfulness of Shabbat. We continue to sweeten that time with Kiddush, which can be found on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho me'ahavahu v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim. Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim Shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
So now that our time is sanctified, and now that we have sweetened that time with the words of Kiddush, and further sanctified our space in general for Shabbat, we're going to continue moving into a smidge of Kabbalat Shabbat, a little bit of the bringing in of the bride, and we're going to do that with Psalm 98, which can be found on page 16. In our space of Kabbalat Shabbat, in the space where the Shekhinah, where the presence of God can live amongst us on Shabbat, and to bring our Shabbat into a better place, even to enjoy our rest, to enjoy our food, to enjoy our time together. What better place to have this moment that we get to share, this enhanced moment, and that is to talk about our graduates. So we are going to invite Rachel Wolf, our director of SLJ, our School for Living Judaism, up to the bima to join us as we're going to do one of several parts of connecting with our graduates.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Again, I'm Rachel Wolf. Thank you. And I am absolutely thrilled to be here with you all. It's an absolute pleasure to get to chat and share our love for these amazing graduates. I know it hasn't been easy it's weird to be talking about you and not looking at you, I'm sorry. But to be in the experience that you are, having had your high school experience interrupted in many ways, but you all are absolutely incredible human beings. You all will always hold a very, very special place in my heart as my first hopefully of many graduating classes here in the SLJ. And I'm just so excited that we get to shower you with a bit of love and affection, as you all deserve, as this has been your home for many, many years, which we're going to chat about, and I don't want to get emotional just yet. But we will be sharing hopefully some words that remind us of our grads, and also we'll learn a little bit more about them, what their next steps are, and also maybe hear from some of them as well about their experience. So I'm going to turn it over now to Rabbi Keller and to Cantor Muchnick to share some of these quotes and ideas about our grads.
Okay. So we thought, what better way to share some words with you, but also give you a little gift. So each of you are going to receive this book. It's called Tough Questions Jews Ask. If you have not read this book, by the way, it is very small, so which is good, which means it's an easy read because you have been reading and you're going to go to do more reading, and so we don't want to inundate you with large, hefty textbooks. But trust me when I tell you, take a moment and read this book. We chose it on purpose. It is, how many pages is it? It's like 130 pages, and they're colors. I mean, and then there are pictures. There are pictures, and the font is really big, and there's a lot of space. Ooh, pictures! And then we're not giving you crayons to draw in there, but trust me when I tell you, it's worth the read because it asks tough questions and then gives answers to tough questions. Because as you go into college and as you leave us, we want you to be equipped with these really good answers to very difficult questions. And so the book is written by a really fabulous and really famous rabbi, Rabbi Eddie Feinstein, who is in Los Angeles, and he is quite lovely. And so not only are you each getting one of these books, but we schmoozed and thought that we might share a special quote. Each of you gets a special quote that we think matches you and matches your persona. So some of you look a little nervous. They're all fine. We chose nice quotes because we like you.
They're all movie quotes, right?
They're all movie quotes, yes, and they're all from The Princess Bride. Just kidding. All right. We're going in alphabetical order. So Bailey, you're first. Just so you know, here, come over here. Just so you know, it says the book is presented to Bailey Jacobson on the occasion of her graduation, and it has the date and the Hebrew date. And we chose for you the words from Pirkei Avot, which is in the Mishnah. And it says, Rabbi Tarfon used to say, it is not for you to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. Does that make sense? That it is not for you to complete everything. You're not in your hands to fix the whole world, but neither are you free to just be like, no. Because we think that sums you up. We think that you are continually trying to work harder and harder and harder and fix the world and mend it in as many ways as possible, knowing that it might never be fixed, but that's never stopped you before. And we know that you're going to blaze that path of that continual love and push for that you have of Judaism and of Israel, and that you will neither desist from that work all the days of your life. We're pretty sure of that. So that is for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Emmy, you're next. Emmy Landau. It also says presented Emmy Landau. Come over here. Who's Emily? Is your name Emily? No, it's great. It's Emmy. All right. We chose this one for you. You ready? Shimon HaTzadik used to say, on three things the world is sustained: on Torah, on worship, and on acts of loving kindness. Also from the book of the Mishnah. And we chose this one because not only from the second I met you are you like the biggest CBI fan. You just have joy running through your veins when you're here, I think. You're just like, yay, I'm here, I'm at CBI. You like skip and jump and there's happiness. And so the world is sustained, I think, by that love. And then you love the Torah, you love the worship, you're here all the time. You clearly are here and made it all the way through 12th grade. And then the acts of loving kindness, because everything is done with kindness and thoughtfulness and love. And so we have been blessed these years to have you sharing that love with us, and we know that you'll continue to shower us with that love. And you're not that far away. So we're going to drag you back here, even though you're not that far. How many hours is it? 2. So we share this quote with you, and we look forward to this path of loving kindness and the connection to Torah and to worship that you've shared with us all these years for many years to come from all of us. You're welcome. Eitan, you're up. Ethan Milrad. It's you. Yeah, we're good. This is your quote. It also comes from the Mishnah. Who is wise? One who learns from everyone. Who is strong? One who overpowers their own inclinations. Who is rich? One who is satisfied with what they have. Who is honorable? One who honors their fellows. And we chose that one because I think at each one of those marks, I would write Ethan Milrad, Ethan Milrad, Ethan Milrad. That you learn from everyone, that you showed up here kind of in the middle of the path, right? You've only been here for 3 years, right? 3.5 years. And instantly, you found your way to learn and to be part of our congregation. You're strong because you see where you can be strong, where you might need the strength. You jumped in and helped. You have been an incredible madrich. Who is rich, because you're satisfied. You're always just satisfied. You're just chill. You're always happy to be there, even wearing really cool shirts like this. It's a good shirt. It's a good shirt. Who is honorable? And that's someone who learns from their fellows. Someone who just is able to think, I'm just going to check out the scene before I dive in. And so we thought that that'd be perfect for you to carry on. And you're also only 2 hours away. So we know where you are also. So we're going to bring you back here whenever we can. That's the official sound, I think, of bringing you back. Yeah, sounds like I'm like a little mouse eating cheese. So we chose that quote for you, Eitan. You're welcome. And
Ethan unfortunately has to leave us a few minutes early, so we do have a little extra gift that will hopefully help you to light your way as you take your next step for you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jacob Rosenfield.
Yeah, that's me.
Field. Hello. This is the quote we chose for you. This is from a rabbi named Rav Kook, who was an extremely famous rabbi, Zionist rabbi, by the way, who was one of the first founding rabbis of the modern state of Israel. So he's actually pretty cool. And he said this: I don't speak because I have the power to speak. I speak because I don't have the power to remain silent. And I think that defines you perfectly. A, you like to chat a little bit here and there on occasion. But with that power and that speaking, you are a force to be reckoned with from the second we laid eyes on you. That your sister came through and blazed away, and we thought, oh, all right, Maddie. And we're like, okay, let's see what Jacob can do. And then Jacob showed up and continued to blaze that path. And so, as you continue on now to IU, we hope that you carry on this idea and this vision that you speak because you can't remain silent, that it's your job to be the voice. It's your job to be the mensch in a particular situation. And so we hope that you'll continue to blaze that path, and we know that you will. And you're a little farther away than 2 hours, but there are planes. There's just 2 hours. And Rachel went to IU, so she has a secret path to get there. I also worked at IU, so I also know IU. I also still know the director of the Hillel at IU very well. I have her in my speed dial, so careful. So be very careful.
Only good things, right? Only good things.
Only good things. And so we wish only great things upon you, and we have that for you.
Thank you.
And Annabelle, also from Pirkei Avot, from the Mishnah. Say little and do much, and receive all people with a cheerful countenance. Because sometimes you're a little quiet, but you know what? You're always there. You always show up. You have perfect attendance. I don't think I've ever not seen you present in being there. And you know what that means? You care deeply. Because as someone who is in high school and who's juggling all the things that you do and the great long distance driving you do for school and for all the things that you love, you find time to be here at CBI, no matter what. Exhausted, sometimes, usually exhausted, especially happy on those days when we're meeting in here and we had the whole room to ourselves, and most of you could just lay on the floor while we're doing our lesson and nod off halfway through my very intense and thoughtful lesson when I heard the snoring from all of the teens. But you're here, and that, Annabelle, is a great strength. And we know that you will do great things with Dave, the Dave School. What does it stand for? I keep forgetting.
Digital animation and visual effects.
Digital animation and visual effects. Okay, nice. Okay, so that's the Dave School, which is on the Universal campus, right?
Back lot of Universal Studios.
Great. So we will look forward to hearing much from you there also, and we are very blessed that you have been with us all these years at CBI from the beginning, yes? All the way from kindergarten, pre-K? 2, from the age of 2 all the way to this moment, and we feel so blessed. And you are also about 2.5, 3 hours from us. So watch out. Watch out. And I love Universal. So we're just gonna knock on the door and be like, we need to see Annabelle. We need to see Annabelle. People will be like, who? Who do you need to see? So we wish you lots of luck and lots of love from all of us. So that's part 1, right? Is that good? All right. Okay. So that's part 1 of our graduation. There are several other parts, including some words from 2 of our graduates, right? You're going to be sharing. Are you saying something? Sure. All right. Oh, great. I'm glad it's all planned out. Excellent. Excellent. So we're going to continue with our service now. Just sharing some after sharing some words with our graduates, we're going to continue with Chatzi Kaddish, which is on page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בלמד יברכירתי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב וימרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם לא מהמיה יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, Damiran be'alma ve'immeru. Amen.
Continue now with the Baruch Hu, where we ask ourselves if we are awake, if we are prepared to be present, and we stand and we continue on page 28.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? And a nine, 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 and a nine, nine, nine. Baruchu et Adonai, HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai, HaMevorach, Le'olam Moed, Le'olam Moed. And a nine, 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 and a nine, nine, nine.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בדברו מעריב ערבים בחוכמה, פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We continue with Shema 34:35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue on page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. We continue on 39. At the top, let's read that together. Standing on the parged swords of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go is eternally Egypt, is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together, Micha Mocha, on page 40.
Say זכרה ובניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא עושה אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. We may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, pores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. We continue with Hashkivenu on page 42.
השיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, עמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, עמידנו שומרנו לחיים. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Amidenu shomreinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Amidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Amidenu shomreinu lechaim.
Never disappoints. No. It's so good. Dan Nichols.
Rockstar.
Yeah. Plus, Jacob. Nice. Nice on the guitar. Very nice. We continue with Vishamru as we continue to sanctify and appreciate Shabbat together, page 44.
שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Rothblum does not, he does not,
It's an oldie but goldie.
I was going to say, he doesn't disappoint either. He's really good. And everyone loves that one. Isn't that, don't you think like that's like the actual Vishamru? Don't you think like that's like the one that, you know, don't you think, is it Misinai tune? Is it a Misinai tune? Would you categorize that Vishamru as Misinai or no? Yeah. There's this idea that there are a couple of pieces of music that are called Misinai, meaning they like came down from Sinai, kind of like the Aleinu, like everyone thinks like Aleinu l'shabech l'Adon hakol, like it's like we call it a Sinai tune because it's like everyone thinks like in the whole world it must be that tune, right? So I think the Rothblum is like the Misinai tune, don't you think?
Yes.
Great. I like how he set this up. I say like 75 words, and then he says half of one. Then I do 75 in other words, and he does the other half of the other word, and then we're done. It's perfect. It's perfect. Now he's not even listening at all. Now I can just keep talking because he wasn't even chime in at all. We're going to continue with the Amidah, though. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a man of many words. Yes.
We're going to stand together, friends, and continue on page 46.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot Umevii Geula Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Umagen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LeHoshia Morid Hatal Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem emunato lishenei afar micha mocha ba'al gevurot umido melach melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'neman atale hachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We take some time now for our own silent prayers, thoughts, and meditations, beginning on page 54 through page 62. When you're finished, please be seated. page 60.
Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adom lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adom lechol hashalom. Shalom Rab Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Betzor be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim
It's a pleasure to invite back up to the bima Rachel Wolf, the director of SLJ, to share some words of Torah with you on this fine Erev Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom again. This week's Torah portion, Emor, is extremely fitting for our graduates and this Shabbat. This parsha begins by describing unique and detailed laws for the Kohanim, the holy priests in the temple. It explains the spiritual, emotional, and physical purity required of the priests serving in the holy temple. I'm continually intrigued by the laws of the high priests, fitting for a Jewish studies nerd like myself. Their lives, down to their very clothing and whom they spend their time with, have been outlined in the Torah. We no longer have Kohanim or priests serving in the Holy of Holies in the temple as we once did. Today's absence of high priests shows a shift from the priestly structure to the rabbinic system. This highlights a change in the desire for perfection in our spiritual and ritual practice. Our rituals live with contemporary rabbis, but primarily with ordinary Jews like ourselves. Gone are our high priests in temples with an altar for sacrifice, but rather a challah board with salt on our Shabbat tables. In this way, the rabbis placed our Jewish future with the people. Our rituals belong to us. I know that our Jewish future is exceptionally bright if our graduates are any representation. I admire your curiosity, care, love, and passion for your Jewish community, Israel, and individuality. The Reform movement, which has served as the backbone for your Jewish education, reminds us that all of this is a choice. Our Judaism is not put upon us like the priests before us, but rather decisions based on education. As stated in the 1999 A Statement of Principles for Reform Judaism, it says, "The great contribution of Reform Judaism is that it has enabled the Jewish people to introduce innovation while preserving tradition, to embrace diversity while asserting commonality, to affirm beliefs without rejecting those who doubt, and to bring faith to sacred texts without sacrificing critical scholarship. We know that you will innovate Jewish tradition in the ways you choose with an eye on the foundation that has been instilled in you before you could say your Aleph Bet. Annabelle, Bailey, Emmy, Ethan, and Jacob, sorry, I'm awkwardly looking over my shoulder at you. You are thinkers, doers, questioners, rule breakers, followers, and anything else that you would like to be. We hope that the Jewish education we have provided for you here at CBI will help you set your own rules and boundaries for leading a connected Jewish life on your terms. No matter where you go, please know that you have the biggest cheering section here at home, and it has been my absolute pleasure to learn with you and from you in this last year. You will always hold a special place in my heart as hopefully my first of many graduates here at CBI. We love you, we are so incredibly proud of you, and we know that the Jewish future is brighter because of you. Our Jewish future is yours to shape, contort, and twist through your own lens and no one else's. We can't wait to see what that looks like through your eyes. Shabbat Shalom. May I call up? I'd like to call up Emmy Landau for some additional words. You're going to be great. Don't give me that look. We're so excited.
Shabbat Shalom. Is this one on? Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for the introduction and this beautiful service. Picturing today is something I've tried to do for so many years. I've sat in this chapel so many times, listening to other graduates tell their plans for life in the schools and how they knew their dreams. I was always so envious of the clear direction they had and the power to know what they wanted. I thought when I reached this age, well, my 10-year-old self, I'd know exactly what I wanted. Fortunately, that is not the truth. I realize that progression has a different timeline for everybody, so let's start with mine. I started at B'nai before I was even alive. My older brother Alec paved the path for me as the heir to the royal Landau family. So I started with mommy and me, and I did all the steps. B'nai is the only thing I'd ever known, and as a little kid, it's pretty amazing. But I felt safe. Safety is a word that many people don't feel blessed enough to say. I looked up to everyone at the synagogue. I saw all the version of myself I wanted to be, but was too young to understand, so I stuck it out. I grew up here, and I found not only my family, but my best friends and an amazing relationship with God. So let me start with a quick story. One day, I was sitting in the crowd, and I felt lost. I didn't know what my place was. I was too young to hang out with the big kids, and I was too old to hang out with the little kids, so I was in that weird cross way. And I saw comfort with my teachers, with Rabbi and so many of my teachers that are sitting out here. When I felt lost and I didn't know my place, Rabbi Silvers brought me back and told me it was okay. So, thank you, Rabbi Silvers, for sticking by me and fulfilling a promise I made to my late grandfather, Mark Landau. I'm standing here today a graduate, so thank you for showing me what it means to be strong. I love and I miss you every day, and little pieces of this family are everywhere within the synagogue because of you. Having so many people to look up to made this journey wild and crazy and full of love. A big thank you to my parents for keeping me active at CBI. My mom's involvement in the synagogue inspired me to be more active, and my dad's drive for the success of our family is one of my favorite things about him. Rabbi Keller, even though we haven't been together for that long, I've loved getting to know every minute of you, and I'm so excited for what the synagogue holds and what you're gonna do with it. And Cantor, the approach that you've brought to music has it's been amazing to see a fresh perspective, and I love to see what you're gonna bring next. So, thank you guys. Rachel, Wolfie, I've only known you 1 year, but I can say you're the only one that's ever gotten the seal of approval. So I guess I like you a little bit. What's next for me? I'll be going to Florida Gulf Coast University in the summer, majoring in business and minor in entrepreneurship. And I'm going to continue my Jewish education and continue to use these lessons that I was taught. Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Hi, guys. What's going on? Schwartz is sitting in his room wearing only a top hat. When Steinberg strolls in,
Wait. Hold on, Field, hold on. Look, there's another one, and they both work.
okay, we'll do the same one because it's funny. It's called the top hat. Schwartz is sitting in his room wearing only a top hat when Steinberg strolls in. Why are you sitting here? Asks Steinberg. It's all right, says Schwartz. Nobody comes to visit. But why the hat? Maybe somebody will visit. Does that make sense? Because it does not to me. Hi, guys. For those of you that don't know me, I am Jacob Rosenfield. I'm currently Busy's president. Was that funny? It was? Okay, cool. Yeah? All right, nice. And I am here to give a little graduation speech. Half of this is mostly outlined, so we're going to fill in those outlines while I go today. And we'll start off with my first year at CBI. Basically, when I was born, I came here for preschool, sitting in the computer lab, just watching Mickey Mouse go down a water slide. I probably got that wrong, but that's what my memory tells me, and I'm going to go with that. It was great. And then we go to, elementary schools next, right after kindergarten. And I was living life. I was coming to Hebrew school every Sunday, learning how to speak Hebrew, say the prayers, then Judaics, learning about my Jewish history, and I was having a great time. And then, I was just there. I mean, I don't know. I got really connected to myself, my heritage, and I felt like I had to continue something. But I hated coming to Hebrew school on Sunday. I'm like, I have to wake up at 7 in the morning and go to Hebrew school. Oh, this is horrible. But I stuck through it, and I made it to middle school, where in 7th grade, my life really changed. My sister, who was the RCVP at the time, SAVP, I don't know, some position on the busy board, invited me to a Rapids water park extravaganza event over the summer. And I was like, okay, why not? I have no plans, might as well go down some water slides. And this is where I met some of my best friends I've ever made in my entire life. They all have graduated by now, except for the people sitting up here and a few younger than me. But I want to just thank CBI for allowing me to have this opportunity to meet people, to have fun. And now we're going to the part that I really know well, because I give this speech to 3rd graders and 8th graders, all of those grades in between, every single week when I go to their classrooms. And it's just basically my Busy CBI journey when I joined Busy. So yeah, let's begin there. 7th grade, Rapids Water Park, we covered that. Now we're moving on to freshman year, or 8th grade, and I had to have a position on the Busy board. So I go for the membership vice president, because I'm like, oh, I'm a people person. Yeah, let's go. We love talking to people. We love cracking jokes. Some bad ones, some good ones. Mostly great. They're always good. Yeah. And I mean, I just love community and people. So I wrote a speech. I came up here. I gave my speech. I was so nervous because I was like, who's running against me? Who's running against me? Am I going to win the election? No one ran against me. 2 weeks of preparation, 5 hours of speech writing and editing, and I had no opponent. Wow. I won. It was great. Let's go. Next year, 2 years in a row, MVP. Let's ride. Woo! But yeah, it gave me the opportunity to see something that is bigger than me. It helped me join a community and NIFTY, which is the North American thing. where I met some of my best friends of ever again. So yeah, that's great. Now we're junior year, sad junior year, online school. But I was the busy president. I won the election. Let's go. I actually had an opponent this time, so my preparations were not taken for granted. I did win. It was great. And I'm the president again this year. Yeah. So community, let's go back to that and say some thank yous. I really hope I cover all the ground on my thank yous. Thank you, Rabbi and Canner, and then Rabbi Silvers and Rabbi Ali, and then other Canner, Sarah. And then thank you, Rachel, for this amazing year that I had, and Kim from all the other years. And then Zoe, who's the Yep girl when I was first coming into Busy, and then JR, the Yep girl last year. And now Annie in the future, which is going to be great. I have high hopes. It's going to be awesome. Then we have another thank you for my parents who are sitting over there, my sister for getting me into it, all the community that CBI has brought me, and thank you to the SLJ for making me who I am today. And that's all I have prepared in my mental outline that I created before I started this speech. And we're going to leave it there. Thank you, everyone.
It's a little short. Did we print? No. Uno momento. Okay. Well, Shabbat Shalom. I don't think I will be able to up that one from that guy, or will I? Who sees? I first want to say that my entire experience has been a roller coaster. There have been times where I felt very close to this community, to this synagogue, and there are times where I didn't feel at home because I distanced myself after my dad's passing. And the entire question of my existence is, who am I? I am the daughter of Stephen and Krissa Jacobson. I am graduating from Spanish River High School. I am majoring in health science for physical therapy and mental health. And I plan on attending Aardvark's Israel Gap Year program in Israel. But again, who am I? I am Bailey Jacobson, without the buzz. I do not know who I am yet. I am neither in the midst or end, but perhaps the beginning. I imagine that I am finally breaking this see-through flexible wall, and I can breathe the air in which holds endless paths and opportunities. With every inhale, ignites this flame I have within me. My need to question and want to understand. I believe it's created this yearning to educate myself, to grow stronger physically, mentally, and emotionally, to observe the world, but most importantly, to empathize with others, to be beautifully human. And with every exhale is another step in action. I do not know who I am yet, but I do know who inspired me. My beautiful father, Stephen Lawrence Jacobson. He was the most amazing human, man, and father I have ever met, and he was the kindling to the way in which I want to exist, to the way in which I want to live, and to the way in which I want to be Jewish. But first, I must ask myself, what does it mean to be Jewish, and even more than a young Jewish woman? My father's Judaism had no denominations. It only existed in love and in practice, and it was certain that I would meet him with a smile every time, because he began to see his daughter fall in love with being Jewish, fall in love with the community, fall in love with a bigger family. I do not know who I am yet, but I want to connect with myself. In the year 2013, I woke up in option B, a world where my father is gone, a world where being Jewish didn't seem to matter anymore, a world in which I'm still learning how to live in. With many new feelings of anger, confusion, devastation, I began to ponder, Where is God now? Who cares about being Jewish? Why does it matter? These were the questions that pierced my 9-year-old mind as my heart yelled them at the sky. And such questions full of these feelings led to my current yearning to want to understand why my father had so much pride in not just calling himself Jewish, but living in a Jewish way. My father, Stephen Lawrence Jacobson, embodied his Jewish identity. I do not know who I am yet, but I want to find out. I want to gain firsthand experiences and opportunities I do not just dream of. I want to love and care for others in a world in which I am proud to be Jewish in. I want to see other people who call themselves Jewish, who are in different denominations, who practice differently, and see what that means to me. Aardvark Israel Gap Year program is a gateway to so many endless opportunities. It invites Bailey Jacobson, despite not knowing who I am yet, to experience being Jewish, to observe and practice Judaism and enhance my Jewish identity, exactly how Congregation B'nai Israel inspires others to do so. To inhale with aspirations and exhale moving forward, enhancing my Jewish identity has never meant more to me. I do not know who I am yet, but I will not stop until I am proud. Thank you.
Sometimes I think we get nervous about the next generation, and sometimes we think to ourselves, I think it might be okay. I think. Quite blessed to have these kids in our midst. We are going to think of those in our community who are in need of healing, a physical, emotional, or spiritual healing. We think of Chava Leah Bat Esther, Gary Bandel, Daniel Bernstein, Gloria Bernstein, Lillian Bushell, Sloan Caston, Brian Church, Karen Coles, Chuck Curry, Shel Cutler, Casey Daskell, Mark Davis, John Day, Jaden Deal, Judith Dratler, Martin Edelman, Ephraim Evraham, Ben Rivka Zahava, Bobby Fitchman, Herbert Fitchman, Jeannie Frankel, Rhoda Friedman, Ida Friedrich, Stuart Fruman, Susie Glatt, Jill Gottlieb, Martin Edelman, Ellen Hedrick, Larry Horn, Irv Hurwitz, Stan Jacobson, Ira Kafka, Shirley Kafka, Gary Kane, Bonnie Kleinman, Michelle Kingen, Esther Rhoda Kaufman, Stuart Kruger, Gloria Land, Rochelle Liebman, Michael Stephen Linder, Michael Medoff, Yankel Yitzchak Ben Moshe, Barbara Newmark, Linda Greenblatt Newworth, Arnold Plotsky, Gloria Plotsky, Elliot Porwich, Mark Rosenberg, Lillian Rosenblatt, Howard Rosenbluth, Richard Rosenbluth, Chuna Ben Ruth, Moshe Ben Sarah, Lexi Schlessenberg, Jason Seidman, David Schwartz, Ezra Shashua, Matthew Smith, Diane Spiro, Gloria Spiro, Tzvia Batliba Tamara, Perry Victor, Barbara Weiss, Ashley Weiss. To those names who had any name that you would like to add at this time. משבח אבותינו ואמותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, חלב לאה, הוא ברך את החולים, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם, לחלמם ולפותם להחזיקם, וישלח להם מאורה אפורה, רפואה שלמה מן השמיים, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, השתה בגלה וזמן קריב, ונאמר אמן. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Becca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health, be restored, and their strength be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, as together we all say, Amen. We are a couple of quick announcements immediately following our service. Just outside those doors and into the courtyard, we have our Chardonnay Shabbat. So we're calling them light bites. I think they're nothing light about them because VIP makes them and they're delicious and fabulous and you should enjoy. And we have some libations for everyone if you'd like a libation to celebrate graduation and Shabbat. So we have libations and food and community outside just at the end of our service. We are momentarily going to conclude the service, but we can't do that until we give some gifts officially to our graduates. We're going to bring Rachel back up to the bima again, and we're going to share some gifts with our graduates, and then we're going to conclude our service this evening. What's that? It's Rachel Wolf. I do that, by the way, because there are two F's in Wolf. Just it's not F or F-E, it's F-F. So that's why I'm doing it. I want to be clear in the pronunciation. I'm doing it for you. It's for your benefit. I'm just doing it. I'm saying it's for you. I'm doing it for you. Do you have the gifts? I do have the gifts. Thank you. Great. Here's Rachel Wolf.
Maybe it will get old someday. I have the distinct pleasure of sharing some wonderful gifts with our graduates. I don't want to ruin anything, but I will. Inside of these bags, you will find a personalized electric Hanukkah to take with you to school. It does have your name on it and the year that you are graduating, as we know that many universities don't allow for candles, don't recommend them in the dorm room. So you will find that in there. Additionally, you will find a very petite mezuzah that you can put anywhere you would like. And we hope that you will put that on the outside of your dorm room or somewhere in your suite, should you be lucky enough to have one, or your apartment, Annabelle, whatever that looks like. So again, you will find that in there. Additionally, you will find some swag for wherever you are headed next. So you will find some sweatshirts or cups or mugs or a very cool Dave lanyard potentially. Also, and shirt. They did a great job. They were very, very generous. And also the contact Jacob at Hillel as well at IU. Some people are very excited to meet you. So these are just a few small things to show you how much we love you, how much we care about you, and thank you for your continued dedication to our community, whether that's as madrachim, as student volunteers, or just generally being present and acting as examples for younger students to look up to. So thank you. So I'm gonna just come up here.
Hi guys, back again here. Forgot a few thank yous. Ms. Davidson, all my teachers, and Ms. Susan as well. That's all I can remember now.
We'd like to share. There are a lot of great moments that we can share this blessing with you throughout your life, and there are these very big moments, and this is one of those big moments. So we'd like to share God's blessing upon you with the priestly blessing. May God bless you and protect you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha vichuneka.
May God's presence shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Isa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha. Shalom.
May God's presence be with you all the days of your life and grant you peace. As together we all say,
Amen.
Amen. You guys can sit back down. We're going to begin to conclude our service. Aleinu can be found on page 282 in your Siddur, and together we stand.
Aleinu l'shameach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
We transition our thoughts now to Kaddish Yotom, to Mourner's Kaddish. We think in the period of Shloshim, the immediate 30-day mourning period, we think of Paula Howard, Susan Silver, Cindy Walkoff, Doris Gold. And our yortzites that occur for us this week, Leola Ackerman, Minnie Angel, Monroe Bezzosi, Irving Breakstone, Leona Costin, Annette Davis, Abraham Feidler, Alfred Faldauer, Alice Gerstel, Samuel Gittleson, Belle Hirsch, Carol Hirschhorn, Nola Isaacs, Al Kanengis, Emmanuel Leonard L., Julies Leviton, Samuel Medoff, Manny Nasanchuk, Rachel Otto, Malcolm Pierce, Larry Ryder, Alan Rudolph, Leonard Schwab, Elaine Shane, David Siegel, Mildred Steele. To those names, we had any name that you would like to add at this time. Kaddish Yotom, Mourner's Kaddish, 294. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach riuteh, ve'amlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'b'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ulmei olmaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitale v'yitalal shmei l'kudesha brichu, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel as together we say amen. Please be seated. We're going to conclude our service with the words of Oseh Shalom, a little different, fun way.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו בעכו ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו בעכו ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו בעכו ישראל. 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 Last time. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו בעכו ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו בעכו ישראל.
Adonai oz lamo eten reverechet amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto our people to bless us with hope and strength and love and peace. Mazel tov. If you have your little candies, let's throw them at the graduates. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.